Hi-ho, Keegan the Vlog here. Welcome to episode 12 of TR3 Wrench Time. This is Body Tub Restoration Part 5. So we've been talking about the body tub restoration process, and it's taken us long enough that the body is starting to get surface rust. So we've been through that already. What we elected to do was go ahead with the media blasting and get everything put into primer so that we take the time pressure off of our restoration process, body tub restoration process. So that has been done. We're going to pick up where we see the cleaned metal for the first time. So we're gonna go to Chesapeake Blasting Services, the one that's up here closer to us in Millersville, and see it for the first time. It's going to go to the paint booth. We're going to pick it up where we see it at the paint booth for the first time, put it on the trailer, take it back to the shop, and start tearing into that rear section. So we're replacing the rear tail section and the trunk deck itself. We've got a new reproduction piece for that, so we're going to go ahead and rip that out and put a new one in. So let's get into it. All right, we're pulling up to Chesapeake Blasting Services in Millersville, and this is the first look we've got of the car since it got blasted. Oh yeah! Body tub looks excellent. I only wish I would have done this before I started welding on it. This would have made it so much easier. So there's no primer on this. This is what they call white metal. It's just been glass bead blasted. So we need to get this up to the painter to get everything put in primer, and we can continue working on the tub. Yeah! Look at that! And this is our first look at the body tub in primer. So we've dealt with the surface rusting issue. That's all been cleaned up. The body tub and all the panels are in primer, so we can continue working on this car without worrying about any more surface rust. It really is quite fun picking up a car body and just carrying it out to a trailer. All right, back to the shop.
Oh, on this front?
Yep.
Turn it around, all right.
See if you can walk on that side. And yet another big shout out to Ivan. Thank you so much, man, for helping me grab this thing and carrying it back into the shop tonight.
Hey!
Just pick up a car and set it down on its frame. Okay, the body is back. Actually, all the pieces are back from being primered. So we have addressed the problem of developing surface rust during this process. So one of the things that I have learned about this, if I ever do it again, I will be doing the bead blasting and the primer operation straight away. And the reason is I'm going to show you a picture of how this looked before it got primered and compare it to how it looked before we got it bead blasted. So right after it was bead blasted, the metal was so clean, it would have been so much easier to do the welding necessary to do the middle of this car. So I struggled with this welding, and a lot of it was because of how compromised and how much corrosion was on the metal. I have been waffling back and forth on the trunk deck. I've got this section as a new section, and given what we've already done to the car, this looks a lot easier to deal with than the middle of the car. So the one piece that we don't have and we can't get is this upper deck here. That's okay though, because it looks like we can save it. I hate the overlap, but that's the way the car was made. And you can see in a lot of the places that rust has developed on this car, it's where the metal overlaps. And that's not going to be an issue in the future because this is not a daily driver. This is not going to be out in the elements. This is going to be kept indoors. Okay, I think that's a great place to leave this episode, part 5 of body restoration, TR3 wrench time. So we got the tail off, obviously. We've got the trunk deck out. Those are 2 pieces that we have remanufactured pieces for, and we were kind of hemming and hawing about whether or not to take them out or try to fix them. Probably best that we took them out because we uncovered some more stuff that we need to fix in here. We've already started manufacturing those pieces and setting them in there and templating things, so we're well on our way to getting this wrapped up, the tail section of this wrapped up. So probably another episode or 2 on the back, and then we move to the front, and then we move to the body panels, and then we move to the fun part. We move to building the chassis. So the next TR3 wrench time episode, though, we are going to tear into the transmission and see if we can solve the mystery of why this car sat for 40 years. So if you watch my dad tell the story of this car in episode 1, if you haven't seen episode 1, there's a link to it down there. Go back to episode 1, and there's a story about this car driving to work, and a problem developed where power from the engine could not make it to the rear wheels in various gears. So obviously looking at the clutch and the transmission as the culprits for that kind of problem. However, the transmission was inspected by a professional transmission shop and couldn't find anything wrong with it. So who knows? We're gonna get into this thing and see what we see. There's gonna be a couple of episodes coming up about the red pickup truck that I've been driving. So that's one of the vehicles that I've got that you've seen but haven't seen any stories about yet. So we're gonna talk about that coming up, and then possibly a new vehicle coming to the fleet. We're going to go check something very special out here. Actually, tomorrow it's happening, and we're going to be filming that. So regardless of whether or not that becomes my car, there's going to be an episode about something really cool that we're going to look at tomorrow to potentially purchase. Anyway, if you are enjoying this content, please like and subscribe somewhere down there, and we'll see you next time on TR3 Wrench Time.